I got all the stuff set up on my end for recording. Okay. So
your mic boom is in the way of your face.
Yeah, that's not the footage that's going to be in the episode. Because I used to have a stand for like my webcam, but I don't. Okay. So it's just kind of sitting there for you to see me. I'm recording on my camera. Yeah. So that's okay.
That's good. That's good enough.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay.
A lot has happened since.
Did you see Did you see the video Trump put on Truth Social? Did you see that shit?
No, which one was that?
He put up this AI generated video of what it's gonna look like when he buys Gaza, and it's fucking wild.
Oh yeah,
you
didn't
see that shit? Yeah, like the bearded belly dancers
on the beach.
Yeah, the bearded belly dancers. Yeah. Oh god, he had the giant golden statue.
He beamed himself.
Fuck. Yeah,
yeah, bro.
Even he deleted it. Even he was like, "Oh, he deleted it off Truth."
I don't know. Maybe maybe someone else made it for him, and then
he posted on his account.
I know, but maybe maybe someone made it because I don't think he knows how to use AI.
Well, I mean, he's buddies with Elon. All you do is type in, "Make me a fucking video where I got a giant golden idol in the middle."
Right. Yeah, maybe he was type it in. That's fair.
Because like I made a Truth Social account to verify that he posted it and like check it out for a series of Tubes episode. And before he deleted it, everybody was like, yo, Donnie, this ain't it. This ain't it, bro. Even people were like, did somebody hack the president's Truth account?
Oh, that's funny.
That's crazy, bro.
That's funny. I thought it was a funny thing. I thought maybe just a lot of, because it comes off at so many angles. I thought it can, because he's somewhat sarcastic, I think. I mean, maybe he was getting, I assumed it is that because it was kind of bombastic to a point where it was like, not that he wasn't serious, but maybe there was a lot of mixed emotions, like you said, a lot of mixed emotions, reaction from it, which should be, because I thought it was kind of funny, but then I realized, this is serious shit, but
yeah, it's like a shit post. You got the Trump's always been kind of a shit poster. So
we're living in wild times, man.
I know, man.
You can make a tweet or a truth.
No, he made a truth. He made a truth, dog. We out here on truth. He out there truthing, dog. It's so funny because
TRUF, truth.
That was the first time I'd ever been on that app, and like when I opened it up, it was like when you look at the comments, I forget exactly how it's phrased, but it doesn't say comments. It says, "Look at these truths," or "Look at these retruths," or whatever. Like, just I don't know, the way that's worded is
yeah, bro. Man, a lot of crap's happening, man. I mean, I think the last time we did a podcast was when Trump got shot, or no, when he got elected. I don't know.
It was after the election.
We did.
I remember I wore the MAGA hat. Yeah, so it was after the election.
That's right. Yeah.
But then actually, the one we did, the most recent video we made was when we were walking in the street. Because what were we talking about? Like the H-1B thing. A lot of Republican people turned on Musk. Yeah, because the visa thing.
Yeah.
Well, in gaming news, the game I was hyped for, fucking Killing Floor 3, got pushed back. But we were talking about this a little bit earlier. I think it's actually a good thing that instead of just pushing a game out, you actually look at the feedback. Because people said that it was hollow, that it wasn't good, all that in the closed beta.
Damn.
Yeah, so instead of just pushing it out, so they're taking it back.
If the feedback is the game is hollow, that's going to be like a year.
Who knows? Maybe. Well, I don't know. I didn't play it myself. So we'll see. So whether or not they do a good job with it, I think that is the right move, though, to not just say, we'll just patch it. Kind of like what was that, No Man's Sky? We'll just patch it over the next decade. Like, no, we're gonna take this back. I mean,
they're still selling copies and making games, getting people to play it. So, but no, you're right. Yeah, that's that sort of early access mentality that we've got, which is for better or for worse, just the state of the state of the game union right now. So Monster Hunter Wilds dropped. It's actually the number one. I think it's like the number one Capcom game, dude. Like it has like the first day it had like 1 million active users. It was crazy.
A million? I've heard a lot of people talk. I've just never. I don't know. Those kind of games just don't get me, dude. Where you're just like you're hunting. Nah, dude. You play this
well,
have you played it? Have you played it?
You know. Well, I say Dark Souls. It's a third player. Third person perspective, and you got a bounty, and you got to go hunt, and it's all it's like, it's like Zelda, has that sort of action RPG kind of thing. It's I thought I might try it, but I'm not into the mood. I'm back into my first person shooters again, jumping around the different ones because Fragpunk came out, and I played it, and even though I think it's a pretty good game, I'm just not into tactical shooters.
Yeah,
it's not really my forte. But it's a good game. Again, Marvel Rivals was a huge hit the last time we talked. That came out of nowhere. I didn't know. I thought it was going to be okay, but I didn't know it was going to be like.
I don't think there was any hype beforehand. Was there?
There was some hype. There was a little hype.
Well, I had never heard of it. I never heard of it till it came out and everybody was playing it all of a sudden.
Right. Yeah. Well, it was kind of funny because when the betas came out, people played it. It was like, yeah, it's a cool game. This is a cool game. And then when it dropped, I think people were just screaming for a game to play.
Yeah.
And, it didn't, and Marvel Rivals didn't get caught up in the culture war. So people just ready to play something. People are scratching to play something. Sometimes you would think that everyone just hates everything at this point, but I don't know, man. So it's pretty wild. But in other interesting news, what's going on with your new show? Because last time we had a podcast, you didn't drop your new show yet. So I thought the ideas for that were pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I like your new show.
Hold on a second. Something's happening with the Discord call. Let me do a little technical messing around here for a second. Stand back and stand by.
Oh.
Series of tubes. Well, I mean, what is there to say about it? It's me reading internet posts. I think it's a good format, and I put like I don't know the word for it, but that like 90s, 2000s low tech vibe to it with like the 80s school of ugliest possible graphic design for the logo.
Yeah, bro, because it reminds me of the show Saved by the Bell. That was the shit they used. If you look at their logo,
yeah.
I was like, that's a Saved by the Bell.
I've seen like an episode rerun. I don't watch the show.
It looks it looks inspired by the Saved by the Bell intro.
Well, it's inspired by that.
Check that out.
By that,
which is 90s, which is total early
90s. Yeah.
I think it was kind of early 90s,
80s.
Yeah, but yeah.
I like
I think
in the first episode, I did like a picture of my hand holding like a green image, and I green screened over it. And I was like, I want to put illustrations on it. So that's what I did for the second episode.
It's great, man.
See, I don't know. It's a good format, tried and true. Other people do the work for you. You just got to read it. Basically.
And I think it's funny because I'm not a Reddit guy, but you're turning like Reddit into like I don't know, like you could extrapolate, like you said, an experience, and it's just it's great. I think it's pretty cool. Because now you could actually, of course, you can turn that into anything you wanted to. If you want to do Reddit posts or whatever post or just news, It's almost like you're reading news, but the Reddit is how we view reality. You know what I'm saying? If this show is like, what would reality be if Reddit is all we had for news?
Well, I just filmed, I don't know, about 40 minutes of that, so I'm probably going to turn that into about 2 episodes. I've actually been banking a lot because I'm going to be going on that trip, so I'm not going to be home for a while. So I've been banking a lot. Let me pull this up off screen here. How many videos do I got banked? Let's see. That's opening 1, 2. So far, I got 4 videos banked, ready to ship out. Ready to ship out.
Damn, that's pretty cool.
Yes, sir.
I think it might catch fire. People love that kind of shit.
Yeah.
It's kind of gossipy. It's kind of a gossipy kind of thing, but it's funny and people do stupid shit and win stupid prizes and you get to talk about it, and it's how you're reacting. It shows like the culture of, like it's just funny. But it's just good. It's good stuff. So I thought that was a comic genius, and I thought the intro was great. And I think you're cooking, bro.
I've always liked that sound bite of I can't think of his name, Senator Ted something, talking about the internet is not a big truck, it's a series of tubes. Yeah, I always like that.
Perfect, man.
Trying to think. What else you got going on right now?
Well, I just got over the flu, so I'm kind of doing that, and we landed on the moon after all this crazy shit that's going on with the trade war, quote unquote, tariffs and stuff like that, and so much stuff that's going on in the news that seems like you can't even keep up with it anymore. We actually landed on the moon again, and when I say landed on the moon, probes went to the moon. So private industry. I think in the world, I don't think there's no private company that's ever been on the moon. It's always been governments. So we had a company called Firefly Aerospace landed on the moon with their probe, very successful. And then another probe landed on the moon, something instruments, and they had a probe that like tipped over.
Just on the ground, just fell over.
It didn't blow up. It just kind of landed and fell over. But hey, they made it to the moon. Like, it's pretty cool, man. Like I remember seeing. I was watching on YouTube like a little live feed of Firefly when they landed. They had like a huge party. I mean, there was like all their employees, which was like, I don't know, I guess 500 plus people. I don't know. It was a bunch. Yeah. And they're out of Texas too, and I don't know. It was a pretty interesting moment. It's crazy to think that we haven't been back to the moon in what 50, 60 years.
Yeah, something like that.
You know what I mean? And it's time we go back and create a presence there. So some kind of base, whether it's like a bunch of drones,
Terraform it.
Yeah,
that's what.
So Trump Tower, Trump Casino on the moon.
That's what Elon Musk just went back on Joe Rogan. He was talking about trying to terraform Mars, so it's probably going to come up in the next few years. Well, you shaking your head. Well, you don't think so?
I'm not. There's no atmosphere on the moon, man. There's
no Mars.
There's no way.
Mars.
Oh, you said Mars. I thought you said moon.
I might have fucked up and said moon, but I meant Mars.
That's okay. That's all right. Yeah. But no, Mars, yeah. But here's another thing about Mars, man. It has no magnetosphere. So it can't hold an atmosphere. You know what I mean? Or if it does hold an atmosphere, it's going to be very thin. So, yeah, I'm not saying they know when we shouldn't try, and we shouldn't try to like see what we can do.
Yeah.
But to try to terraform it to the atmosphere we have on Earth, you couldn't do that. You couldn't be identical unless you can figure out how to manipulate the whole magnetosphere of a planet. Now that's a whole.
I think he was talking about first just building enclosures to start, and then once you get people there, then, So
because that's just colonizing the moon, or doing underground stuff, and that's cool. But I think it's going to become a reality. Like, I mean, it'll be another 10 years.
Yeah.
I know that we're going to. Well, I mean, I don't know. We're supposed to start sending stuff to the Mars like within a year or two, which the pace that SpaceX is doing, it's doable. The problem, the main problem going to the moon right now with the propulsion systems we have, it's going to take like 6 to 9 months. Trip to and back, and the problem with that, that's a long time in space. We don't know what, and when astronauts are in space, they get hit by cosmic radiation. So it's a real thing. Like
that's one of those things people use to say the moon landing didn't happen. Is supposedly no one's got past the radiation.
Van Allen belt.
Yeah. So it's
I watched. There's this guy named Everyday Astronaut. He covers this stuff. He's pretty much he's a YouTuber, and he actually had a documentary on actually debunking, letting people know, like, we went to the moon and everything, all the questions that people have had about the pictures and stuff. He explained it all, and he doesn't have any skin in the game. not part of the mainstream media or whatever like that. And I always thought that more than likely we didn't go to the moon. But after watching that, I'm kind of like, we probably did go to the moon. Like, I don't know. It made me hope again. It made me a believer. I want to be a believer. You know,
I
want to believe
I can't think of the dude's name, but yeah, again, Joe Rogan had a dude on who like wrote the book on like the moon landing didn't happen. He had that guy on, and it actually got heated with their producer because he was talking about like really technical like camera stuff, and he was like, "Oh well, can you see this on the lighting? So that means it didn't happen." And the dude's like, "No, that can happen. That can." Yeah. So it's like
a lot of it's like, how come you can't see stars?
Yeah,
you know, and that's actually an easy thing to explain, and it makes sense, like shutter speed and and all this kind of stuff. Like, but when you go to space and the way you like video in space, you can't see the stars. It's because it's really because the Earth is so bright. Because usually we are seeing the Earth and it's reflecting, of course, the rays of the sun. It's so bright, the shutter speed that you have on your camera, you can't see the stars. Yeah. You can see the stars if you're like on. If you adjust your shutter speed, but then the Earth looks like a sun at that point.
Yeah.
So you have to absorb so much more light, when you take pictures and stuff. But there's so much other stuff that happened during the moon.
Like the boot prints don't line up. That's a famous one.
The blueprints?
The boot prints. You haven't seen that? Where they have the astronaut boots that they wore, like, they confirmed they wore, and then the pictures of the shoe prints on the surface of the moon, they don't line up. They're different boots.
All right, well, that means we didn't go. Now, there was a couple other stuff that made sense. Like, there was one where they actually just the fact that they were, because there was a famous shot where the moon lander with the crew of the astronauts lifted off the moon, and they have a camera on the moon surface that shot it and followed it. And they're like, who the fuck is down there doing that? Well, that was an actually the funny thing is they actually, because that's not the only time they went to the moon. They went to the moon numerous times. And they try to get that. That shot, everyone thought that shot was like a one-time, one perfect thing. No, actually, they kept on trying to get that shot to watch the moon lander leave.
Yeah.
And they messed it up like 3 times before they got it right.
Damn.
And it's kind of interesting. So when the thing kind of ignites, and they're like, "Where's the flame at?" And then it's like there's all these like weird colors. Like you see the regolith debris of the moon dust, and it looks like green and blue and red. But they explain where the bandwidth, because they that all that information is traveling back to Earth, right?
Yeah.
That video. So they said that they had a very limited bandwidth. So really, and it was in color. But the problem is, if they used the bandwidth that they had, it would just be in black and white, because they weren't able to, because there was too much information that they had to use to send. So the trick that they did to make it color, they literally had like a red, blue, and green lens in front of the camera.
Yeah.
It was a black and white camera. So it just like with the video that you saw, just kind of looked video, color. You know what I mean? So there was a lot of things that explained it, and it made sense. Like, it wasn't out of the blue sciencey stuff. No, it was pretty. I was like, okay, it was very plausible, very practical. So I was like, oh, okay, go to the moon, because I mean, I have been a non-believer for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, like a long time.
And you got convinced.
Well, and I'm leaning towards we went. Thank you, Everyday Astronaut. Yeah. So, my thing was, it was more political. I just thought that at the time, we technically going to the moon was somewhat part of the Cold War, because we were at Cold War with Russia.
Yeah.
And it was almost like Kennedy.
We're trying to prove who was better. Yeah. we couldn't let them win. Yeah.
And then it just like, it felt like so much was on the line that it just like, well, if we don't fucking make it, we're just gonna fake it. If we don't make it, we'll fake it. So, and then they talked about the Van Halen belt was one of the things that it was in the documentary too, about how actually you can survive that, even though it's a lot of radiation and stuff. It's interesting. It was like, if you're a little nerd like me, it was great stuff. So anyway, but I don't know.
Have you seen all the JD Vance memes?
I did.
Where like he's being edited into a million different. Yeah. Or it's kind of like these have the Pepe memes, where it's like all different kinds. Now you have like someone put JD Vance on fucking the Unabomber. Someone put him on Kamala Harris. Like all these weird like mashups.
That's
it's
funny.
so great. There's like 1,000. There's like creepy ones of them. It's so good. And apparently, I was looking at Twitter. JD Vance posted one of them. You know the reaction image where it's Leonardo DiCaprio in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where he's like eating beans or whatever. He's whoop, 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 and he like points at the TV. Someone edited JD Vance's face on it, and he like posted it. Let me see. Yeah. So yeah, he knows. He knows about the meme.
He knows that he's a meme. Yeah. Well, remember he was a meme before when he was during the debates, when he was like had that face like.
Yeah.
That face. That was the first meme.
Yeah, because people were comparing it to stuff like from The Office, where they're having a conversation. Then you like look at the camera. I forget what it was. Something Tim Waltz said, and he said it, and then he looked at the camera. I forget what it was, but
some bullshit.
He was like,
yeah. No, I think it was the China thing. He said he was there during the Tiananmen Square. Or some shit. I don't know. It had something to do with that, but more BS. Yeah, so yeah, man, so much has happened. I mean, where do we even? I mean, we could talk for days, but the whole Zelensky thing, man. I don't know if we've talked about it before.
But, well, no, it hadn't happened. Well, I mean, we've talked about him before, but like the most recent thing didn't happen yet. With like, where they're basically
me and you just
like yelling. Yeah, they're like yelling at each other in the Oval Office. And they had to kick him out. Yeah, that just happened. Yeah. That just happened.
Well, here's the thing. I think a lot of people don't see, and it's kind of funny because I thought I was crazy when I thought about this, but actually I found out later that this was the case. And people are always trying to analyze the conversation itself, that little 30-minute conversation.
Yeah.
Like, gang, this shit has been going on for months now. Like the backdoor conversations that happens between Zelensky or Ukraine and America, because weeks have gone by and Marco Rubio and another gentleman that was pretty based. He was I think he's the Treasury Secretary, was talking to Zelensky about the minerals deal, right?
Mm.
So behind the scenes, Zelensky already said, like, Zelensky had already been tough to deal with, and Marco Rubio was pissed off, and you could tell, like, in that, I don't know if you've seen the room, his face, he was fucking like stoic the whole time.
Yeah,
and you could tell he was pissed because I think he's done with fucking Zelensky. He's been dealing with this guy for like months, right? And he's a fish out of water, man. He's like, yeah, I'll do it. No, I won't. Yes, I will. No, I won't. So anyway, the thing I wanted to say was this deal was already said. He said he was going to sign it when he showed up to America. It was ceremonial. He already said he was going to sign it. You know what I mean? And this was after weeks of delegation behind the scenes, and where he had made his qualms about it, which is understandable. I mean, selling your country away, I guess it feels like,
Yeah.
But Trump just wanted some kind of foot in the door so he can have presence there and stop. And Russia would just be like, okay, I can't go any further. America's there, so whatever. And the funny thing is, people don't realize this has been going on for months, man. And then to say that Trump and Vance ambushed him, we set this up to be ceremonial. You think Trump sat there and did that, got that lunch ready, got the press ready?
I gotcha. No, you're on punked. Like, no.
No, Zelensky wanted to make a scene. Yeah. He preemptively wanted to make a scene. He already had talked to the Democrats. Apparently, he had a meeting with them like an hour before he showed up to the White House. And he was making sure he made the rounds in Europe to say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. When we get done with this, we're going to this is going to be a negotiating tactic for Zelensky. Now, in my eye, if that's what you wanted to do, that's just world politics. Do what you got to do, but don't sit there and a month before say you're going to do this, show up, and then drop this bomb in front of the American public. If you had your qualms, say it behind the scenes. This is bullshit. And after I thought about that, because I try to look at it objectively when it happened, it's like, okay, maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe, what's happening here. And then once I started to listen to all the secretaries and Marco Rubio's side of the story, which he actually talked on CNN about it, and they unimpeded actually, because Mark Rubio to me is a star right now. He's bad. He's doing a lot of work right now. And then when I watched the video again and watched this Marco, like, remember, some reporter was like, "How come you don't wear a suit?" Da 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 da, and it was like kind of weird, but people were laughing. It was kind of like, to make the scene kind of copacetic and stuff. Marco Rubio is not joining in the laughter. This guy is like, fuck this shit. Like, he is done, bro. Like, you could tell, like, something. Yeah, he and I don't know if he could be mad at Trump too, or whatever. He's just angry. He's done with this. Like, just watch. If you watch that video again, or that little clip, just watch Marco Rubio. That dude's not having it right now. And that told me everything I needed. Yeah. So anyway, no, it's been pretty wild, man. This has been a wild ride, and unfortunately, I don't think. Fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know, but I mean, Ukraine, I don't think will last very much longer. They actually did something happened today where a city got surrounded over there. So they're not doing too hot, man. And I don't know. I just I want the killing to stop. I'm with Trump. I'm done with all this. People don't realize that a CIA-backed coup with USAID money overthrew the Ukrainian government, the rightful Ukrainian government, in 2014. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, this shit's been going on for a long time.
Well, that's coming out now with the Doge stuff. The Doge stuff uncovering all kinds of. You saw that clip where Trump was like, "We got people on Social Security. They're 180 years old, 260 years old, shit like that."
And the Democrats sit there in the State of the Union, don't stand up at all. Like, we're just trying to get rid of corruption, people. Like, and you're going to sit here and just try to be anti-corruption in America. And like, what is your plan anyway for a balanced budget? We're just going to spend money into impunity? Is that the plan? This is stupid. Like, you have no plan. Like, you have no fucking plan. Like, it's so stupid. We have to be pragmatic. Like, just being, anti-bureaucracy and corruption. It should be a nonpartisan issue.
Yeah, you'd think that. Damn, you good? You dying over there?
Yeah, bro. I'm actually feeling a lot better.
Yeah.
I was dying. Like, I don't know, man. I had this thing for like more than a week now, and I'm just like, ugh. But it's on the way out. So. But anyway. Yeah, I'm done ranting about politics. I'll go on forever. But that's how crazy it's crazy. Like a week goes by, and it's like a year has gone by. We're so
like a million things. Yeah, you can't keep up. You just can't keep up. Which is
part of the strategy, I guess.
I guess, man. Something that's got me a little irked is this trend I've been seeing where they take these properties that go into Creative Commons because the copyright runs out, and they turn it into a dog shit horror movie. Like they got the Winnie the Pooh horror universe, the Poohniverse.
I thought you'd be all into that shit.
No, and now they got Steamboat Willie because the copyrights ran out on Steamboat Willie. They protected it for Mickey Mouse, obviously, but now they got a Steamboat Willie horror movie, and they got a Popeye, the Slasher Man or whatever, the Slayer Man, dude.
There's a subculture of people that want to take that child, innocent, stuff and turn it into horror and something gory. Like that's always been a thing.
Yeah.
Always been a thing, man. Like, this is a weird example, but remember Cabbage Patch Kids, even though that's not to the degree that we're talking about here, but there's always been a subculture of that, and it's just like taking things that you've loved and cherished as a kid and realize that and turn it into evil and perverted shit. And I think that's pretty much like how people felt. Like, I mean, I think that maybe in some kind of macrocosm, sort of like mentality is that those people were traumatized when they came of age. When they became an adult, they realized the world sucks. So like, fuck it, like I was lied to. So this is the way they like express their traumatizations. Something like, I don't know. Like
I think they're cashing in on the property is way bigger than them. Like there are these huge properties like Popeye, Steamboat Willie, which basically is Mickey Mouse, whatever.
And there's absolutely.
So they're cashing in because the copyright's out.
Capitalism reason for that. Yeah, there's definitely a pragmatic reason for that too. It sells.
I hate it. I'm not gonna go see these. I'm not gonna go see these fucking movies. I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it, bro. I'm not doing it.
That's why. That's one of the reasons why you like. It's kind of weird. I know that you don't. I don't like horror as much. I do like horror, but that's one of the reasons why. Because it can be. It's kind of. It feels like a popcorn movie.
Horror's most definitely got like the most bad movies out of any genre. I feel like.
Yeah.
Maybe comedy. Will still watch them. Maybe comedy is a close second. It's probably the most terrible movie in comedy and horror, specifically. You know what I'm saying?
But comedy and but the funny thing is, comedy and horror offer the most turnaround bang for the buck. Like if you put $500,000 in a horror movie, you might get lucky and make like 10 million, 20 million in the box office.
Yeah, like, I don't know I don't know if you're right on the comedy front, but yeah, horror is notorious for that. It is the most guaranteed turnaround on budget. Yeah. For sure.
Well, I mean, you think about it, to make a comedy is low budget. You just got people.
Yeah, but I think it's more difficult than people realize to make something funny that people actually want to see.
I agree.
It seems easy.
Horror, you can always horror, you can always have the shock value to carry you into the box office, even if you have a shitty fucking movie. Yeah. People just want to see. They want to get scared. They want to scare themselves and watch guts and intestines fall out of somebody. It's like, whoa! So no, I get it. Yeah, you're right.
I think like within fans of horror, there's like good schlock and bad schlock. Right. You know what I'm saying? We're like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like some stuff is like bad, and there's some stuff that like they're doing awful shit, but it's good. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like action movies too.
It's so good.
It's kind of like in action movies too, where it's like it's goofy, unserious in a good way or in a bad way. It's hard to pin that down.
That's that trend of it almost falls into the trend of good bad movies, the best bad movie, like Samurai Cop. Even though that's not horror, but action. But it's kind of funny. It's like when a movie goes too campy.
Yeah.
Yet it becomes somehow it becomes self-realized. But not necessarily in a third wall kind of way, but like the writers know it or the director knows it. But it's presented in such a perfect way where it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
And that to me, it fascinated me. Like the best movie, one of my most favorite that I've talked about on the show before is Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
Because it's campy, but somehow people love that movie, and I think it has to do maybe with the acting.
Mm-hmm. Or you can tell the people who made it cared, or sometimes movies will break the fourth wall and talk about how bad the movie is and it works. But sometimes the movie is just legitimately bad and it's like, okay, now you're just rubbing my face in it that I sat here and wasted the time to watch it. So it depends. But with Big Trouble in Little China, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like they actually cared to make something good. So it doesn't, any kind of campiness doesn't come off as
somehow it works. You're right. Because they cared. Know what I think it has. If you could have some sort of underlining philosophy or idea that brings everything, like a theme that brings everything together that people can relate to, and then you have this movie that just kind of bumbles along and it's fun, and it's fun. It's still fun. I think that's the word. It's just fun. If a movie comes out and it's campy, and for all the right reasons, it's a bad movie. But for some reason you liked it. It's because it was fun.
Yep.
And that's so there's so much dimensions to fun. If you were entertained and it was fun,
was it really a bad movie to begin with? Yeah, I feel like the only reason a movie's bad is if it's boring.
Yeah, good point.
You know what I'm saying?
And, I guess we nailed it. The fundamental thing was it entertaining.
Yeah.
You could say a movie was bad, but I was entertained. But then, like, if I was entertained, was it really that bad? Like,
One of my favorite, I think also a good combination is comedy horror. Like, have you ever seen, what's it called? Tucker and Dale versus Evil. You ever seen that movie?
No.
It's awesome. So basically, I'll give a little bit of the premise away. So basically, these two redneck dudes go out on vacation. They're buddies, right? They go on vacation. And there's these college kids also going out on vacation, right? And they kind of have a awkward interaction at a gas station. And so what happens is the college kids they think they're like crazy psycho rednecks out to get them. And then an accident happens and one of the teenagers goes missing. And so the redneck dudes think that they're in some kind of suicide pact. So there's these strings of accidents happening where the teenagers think that the rednecks are trying to kill them. And then the two redneck dudes who are friends think they're like killing themselves and they're trying to stop them. So it's just,
dude, that sounds funny.
Dude,
hell, bro.
It's hilarious. It's awesome. It's called Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
And actually, I don't know how this got up because remember, Mike Myers, Wayne's World and everything.
That Mike Myers.
Yeah, sorry.
We were talking about horror movies. So
we're talking about horror too. So Mike Myers.
I was thinking about the other Mike Myers.
But the comedian Mike Myers who did Wayne's World and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. One of his first movies, his big movies, was called Honey, I Married an Axe Murderer. And it has that kind of premise.
Yeah.
Where he's married, he really falls in love with this girl, but somewhere in Canada there's an axe murderer going around. And him and his friends think that that's her. She's the axe murderer, but they're not sure. So in their relationship, he's always like super paranoid, and it's just funny because he just thinks she's the axe murderer. But eventually, at the end of the movie, it shows that like maybe she probably was, right? but that's the whole funny. It's a funny movie, and under that premise where one party thinks that this party's doing something, but they're really not, and so it's the dramatic irony that happens. That's good comedy.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of comedy is based on that, regardless of the kind of dramatic irony is. Yeah. Like a lot of comedy is based on that. Two people thinking that something else is going on. Yeah. A lot.
But you know what? That's reality. Just think of like shit that happens in the world, and like half of people in the world think it happened this way, and the other half of the people happen the other way. I mean, or multiple views, and then everyone gets their information from different streams. So they think that they're right, and and they try to argue with each other, and they're both in different vacuums of information. So it's like, how do we have to change the stream of information that we get our information from.
Yeah.
So we're better informed, but I don't know. It's kind of like reality, dude. Everyone views reality and perceives information differently and reacts to that information.
Yeah.
It's human life, man. Welcome to the planet Earth. And the show that it is. Thanks to Trump, we got the greatest show on the fucking planet. So.
The greatest show on Earth.
I guess the people on the left and the right can agree to one thing. It's the greatest fucking show on Earth, man.
AI, man. Yeah. AI, dude. It's getting better. It's getting scary better.
I try to tell you and I don't know if it was 2 years or a year ago. I said it won't be long until you can sit down, like how you do like a photo or like a small video.
Yeah,
you can say I want to. You're going to be able to get whole movies with the actors that you want, dead or alive, anything, and then you can post it and say, "Look at my movie that I made."
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't like it. I don't like it, dude.
It's dystopia, man. It's not going to be. Like I mean, it's not going to be long. It's not going to be long until. Yeah. You could, like I said, you could have Putin on the news. You could fake it, like, "Whoop! I've already launched a nuke at Ukraine," or fuck, and it's going to look like him. And then people are going to then you have like a military response to an AI because they don't know if it's real or not, because it's like hard to assess whether it's real.
Yeah,
man. I don't know, man. It could really fuck us up. More than people realize. The deep fakes. If we could deep fake the world and nobody knows what's real anymore, you're just gonna have to go outside and experience life.
Touch grass.
It might force us in a weird kind of dark age to where we still have the internet and all this shit, but we just don't know what to believe anymore.
Yeah.
Like all this instant communication and stuff that we, have now, and information travels as fast, faster than it ever did. No one's gonna believe fucking reality anymore.
Yeah,
no one's gonna fucking believe it.
What do you hear about this headline where people are trying to cap credit card interest rates at 10%? What are we thinking? What are we thinking about that?
I'm thinking that's fine. I'm thinking, when it comes to usury, I've used my credit cards, for businesses and stuff, and I understand that like whoever issues that money, it's their prerogative how they want to make that money back. And it's up to me whether I want to sign up to it or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, and of course, in a competitive market, if one credit card company has a baseline lower than another, there's competitive rates there. So, okay.
Yeah.
And it's up to you as the user whether you participate in that or not, right?
Yeah.
Now, I think, but telling the banks they can only make so much money, I'm totally fine with that. I don't really have a lot of banks. We kind of need them, I guess, but
you don't have a lot of sympathy for the banks, is what you're saying.
No, but at the same time, like everyone's got to make a buck, and I get it, and I'm not trying to be totally butt sore about it, but I've got no qualms with it. 10% sounds good. I mean, it's still 10%, still 10%. These credit card companies make so much money; it's ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
So, and it's actually good to kind of curtail the banks so they don't get fucking too crazy. Because that's pretty much what happened. What mortgage crisis, credit crisis. That's what happens. Banks get too they get too greedy. They start lending out money that they shouldn't.
Yeah, they ain't
so they're gambling. They're gambling with the liability of people, and that liability of people sometimes, I say sometimes, but most of the time rely on the economy. Someone could be like 100% payment, never missed a payment, whatever, but they lose their job. What the fuck's going to happen to their credit?
Exactly.
So they're gambling with the economy, and they're trying to extract as much of the dollar they can. That's why interest rates are high on anything.
Yeah.
So I've got no problem with that. But at the same time, I understand there's a certain viewpoint where why are we letting the government step into the private market or the private sector? We shouldn't. It should be totally unbridled. And I'm a libertarian at heart, so I understand that argument fairly well. Whenever you see there's any kind of state involvement with controlling the economy. But let's not face it, we have a semi-controlled economy. The Federal Reserve, period, end of story. It's a private bank. That's what people in Congress don't even quite realize that. Like when Maxine Waters sat there and like went on her spew, I can't remember. Like that was when Doge was starting to go into the different. That was right after USAID.
Mm.
And he had Maxine Waters was talking to Colin Powell, or not Colin Powell, I don't know, the head chairman of the Federal Reserve, and she's like, "You're not going to let him come in there and da 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 da," and he's like, "No, lady, that's not what we do." Like, she doesn't understand it's a private bank, like, which is weird because it has no government oversight. There's no fucking people like people's minds should be fucking blown, bro. And it's funny because, there was a huge, that was one of the main issues that was the first issue that separated, created the dual party system that we had, the political party system about the bank. Do we have a bank or do we not have a bank? And I guess they finally got their way in early 1900s. So I'm all about getting rid of the Fed. So a lot of people are. And if we're in that direction of the IRS, getting rid of the IRS, or or at least shrinking it.
Yeah.
Changing this, we're in the right. We've got the narrative in the right. Our compass is pointing in the right direction.
Yeah.
But it's a wild time to be alive, man. It's amazing, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. So video games. I've been a finals baby.
Finals baby.
Finals
baby. Cranking that finals.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's still a good game, even though I of course, I guess you can only criticize and gripe about a game you play nonstop because you know it intimately, and you're like what people abuse and certain things. But overall, there's a guy on I can't remember his name, but he hasn't played the finals in a while. He's come back and he's like, dude, this is a masterpiece. Why aren't people playing this game? And I'm like, you know what? When you stand back and you realize, there's a reason why I am dropping all these hours in a good game. Yeah. It's not perfect, no game is, but man, they're really they're introducing a Gatling gun in the next season, bro.
Oh yeah,
got just
like a minigun or like a Wild West like
Gatling
minigun.
No, a minigun. And just it looks like he's carrying like a heavy in Team Fortress 2. So the question is whether I don't know. You've played the finals, right?
Yeah.
So you have your weapon, of course, and your gadgets, and then you have your specialization. So people saying it might be a specialization because when you fucking shoot that thing, it just blows up buildings and shit. It just fucks shit up. And so that way it's a limited time use, and you're kind of stationary. So you can't like move around a lot when you. But I don't know. We're gonna see. But it looks sick, dude. It looks pretty fun. So they keep coming. Like every season, they got people to hook people and let people come back and experience the game. So I think I looked at it, and it's solid 20,000 average players a day, which is fine. I mean, it's not big like Valorant, Marvel Rivals, but it has its base, and it's still like every season seems like it goes up 1,000. The average keeps on going up, so they're doing something right. Yeah, it takes people realize like sometimes it takes time for a game to, especially when you have a totally new game mode. The little vault system or whatever is a totally new game mode. Battle Royale-esque, but it's tough to make it in the market. Like I'm trying to remember like how long it took Apex and Valorant. Like when they first came out, they were popular, but they had their slump too. It happens, man. This market is the gaming market is so oversaturated. So many games, and all of them want your hours. All of them want you to be hooked to. The little crackheads. This is your game.
Yeah, that's one thing. I think it's something that a lot of people are very, very tired of. Is like you have to subscribe to fucking. You can't just buy shit no more. It's like, oh, this will be $20 a month. This will be $7. This will be better. I was watching a video. I forget who the fuck I was watching, but he hit basketball is his thing. He likes to watch basketball. There's some team that lives right next to him. I wasn't even aware of this, but it's something called blackout laws, where like on your cable package, you can't watch live games from a certain team if you're too close to them.
Wow.
Yeah, so he can't even watch these games because they're close to where he's at. And then apparently whatever service he was using
to go see it.
I guess, but it's like you can't watch you can't afford that many tickets to just because they're in your neighborhood.
Yeah,
and apparently weird. They don't allow like if you use a VPN you can't watch it, so there goes that. So you just can't watch it. You just gotta buy a ticket to every game. Like bullshit like that, dude.
You can't watch it unless even a VPN doesn't work.
Well, they have it so that if they detect you on a VPN, you just can't watch anything.
Wow.
Actually, Truth Social does that because I have a VPN on my phone, so I'm checking something, the gym or whatever the fuck. People can't get my shit. And I tried to, as long as nope, this is disabled. And it's like, well,
so much for VPNs, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some people can block it. Yeah, you can block it.
Jesus, that's kind of scary. Yeah. I know VPNs aren't a total foolproof, but I mean they work. I've used them for a while.
Yeah.
Because
of the licensing things, you'll be on Netflix or whatever, and there's a show you want to watch. Oh, but it's only available on Netflix in the UK or Canada. So, because of weird licensing shit.
Strange. Well, what about wrestling? Will that work for your wrestling match? Like if you were like...
So on wrestling, okay. So in WWE, there's Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, and NXT. Those are the three big dogs. And then there's the different pay-per-views, right?
Mm-hmm.
Raw, you got to watch on Netflix now. Wow. SmackDown, you got to either watch it on cable or Hulu. The pay-per-views, got to watch on Peacock.
So they just spread it out.
Yeah, because different people acquire different licensing. Same thing with like other sports, UFC. There's all this different shit, dude. It's ridiculous.
Just think that if you own like whoever, like of course, whatever board that owns those wrestling
promotions,
intellectual properties. Think of the little pie circle that they've got that they dished out in every network and how much money they're making on one. Holy shit.
Yep. Because then there's 2 other promotions under the WWE umbrella that are also streamed on cable, the Tuesday and Friday night.
Okay, man. Yeah, this is gonna be its own. They're gonna buy a country, man. Yeah, this is our wrestling country. Yeah.
Well, keep in mind, all that shit is if you want to watch WWE in the United States. The rest of the world, they just have something called the WWE Network. I think you get all of it outside of the U.S. But again, just all this. And then if you just want to watch some random TV show, well, so the 5 streaming services you have might not have that TV show. So now you got to go get a whole nother streaming service. No, it's on that streaming service, but you have to get this add-on for it.
Wow.
Cause you remember like how it used to be like cable TV had all these different packages and like, oh, well, I'll just buy Netflix and or Hulu and I'm good to go. I'm cutting the cord. Well, now it's like the same thing. Well, there's a million different packages you have to get if you truly want to get all of it. You got to have Apple TV and Netflix and Hulu and 6 different add-ons for Hulu. And you got to have Amazon Prime and then the infinite number of add-ons for Amazon Prime and then Triller and then
no wonder
YouTube
why
add-ons.
I just stick with YouTube, man. And,
yeah.
I could just see all that shit later on. I mean, I might be able to see it live, but just watch YouTube.
And then, so apparently this is going to get fixed soon, but, tangent. You heard they're coming out with a new 28 Days Later movie, except it's 28 years later. Anyway, so they're coming out with that. And so a lot of people are like, oh, there's a new 28 Days Later movie. I'll go back and watch the original. It's not streaming on anything anywhere.
Wow.
Physical copies are $50 to $200+ because nobody's streaming it and it's not in print. It streams nowhere except for like piracy. It streams nowhere and they're not making new DVDs and Blu-rays. So now apparently because it was streaming on some streaming service and then they lost the rights to it. So now whoever has the rights to it isn't streaming it. So apparently whoever's acquiring the rights is going to put it up for stream somewhere. But yeah.
That's kind of the problem with moving away with physical medium for data.
Physical media, I mean?
Yeah. So like, that's coming back, man. People are gonna want to buy that shit again. I didn't even realize. Are they still making like all the new movies that are DVDs for this stuff?
Your audio just cut out. I don't know what you just said.
Oh, am I back?
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay. Like what I was saying was, with all the new movies that are coming out, are they still making DVDs for this shit?
Yeah, they're still making DVDs. I don't know about every single movie that's coming out because some of them are streaming platform exclusives. But yeah, they got new movies on, like at Walmart. They got new releases on DVD. Hell, there's I saw them on Instagram. They actually take new. I think it's all horror movies. I'm not sure if they do other kinds of movies, but it's all new horror movies. They're putting them onto VHS tape and making the VHS slip cases for them. So people want that old school shit, dude. So yeah, there's people making VHS copies of new movies. Man.
Yeah, it's like how people like owning records.
Yeah, yeah, it's coming back. Putting stuff on vinyl.
I call it in real life NFTs.
I mean, that's any object. It's an NFT, basically.
Yeah, but no, I think that people realize that when everything's on the cloud and you don't own the cloud, some other corporation or Amazon owns it because it's on the Amazon cloud, whatever the fuck. They can just curate any not just movies, but any information they want.
Yeah, it's like when
if there's no physical
on Amazon. If you digitally buy a movie, you're just paying for access to it. They can revoke it at any time, or a song. So you're paying a practically infinite amount of money. And then if they decide or some other company decides to revoke their rights, well, guess what? You don't have access to that song, movie, video game, whatever anymore.
Or the cloud goes down or whatever the fuck. Yeah. Or who knows? Or just like something that happened with this movie, this 8 days or 28 days later or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it seemed like a licensing, it would make sense for a studio that want people to watch the older movie when the new movie hype can, and to have people not have access to it sucks,
Yeah.
On
eBay, if you so every time I've been to like a secondhand store or something, I'm looking for it now before,
know where to go. Well, there's a guy. There's a couple places in town where you can go and find old DVDs.
Yeah,
people sell them. Shit. I don't know how old is that movie? 20 years later.
I think it's early 2000s.
Yeah.
So 20-something years old.
You could thrift shops and stuff. Because at first I think, who wants these old DVDs? But then I realized, yeah, man, people want to go back. Like they want to get those VHs, like the video cameras that actually have the tapes.
Yeah.
In them.
Mm-hmm.
Polaroid cameras that make actual. Pictures. People want that physical medium again.
Because people are. There's like a whole scene about it where they take these old VHS cameras and they actually rig them up so that you can shoot digitally on them. It looks as if you shot it VHS because it's the same technology, but that signal that would be getting outputted into the analog is getting outputted digitally. I think it's actually something that attaches to drones to get footage. Someone figured out some attachment for a drone that gets the video off of it. They figured out how to hook it up to old VHS and tape camcorders. You know how to
bypass it right before it goes to the analog.
Yeah, so that because it's a digital signal that was getting written onto a physical medium.
Right.
But you can also just write it to an SD card or whatever.
Yeah. That's neat.
Pretty cool stuff.
That's really cool. You can do like a little
it's getting harder and harder to find those tapes. And the one thing that does suck about tapes is if you're reusing them, they degrade much faster than like an SD card will. If you're re-recording and wiping a VHS tape, it's going to degrade a lot quicker.
It might make more sense just to instead of giving people DVDs, just give them SD cards.
Yeah.
They're so cheap now and they hold so much memory. I mean, shit. Like how much is a movie? Like how many gigs is a movie?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, then again, I don't know. I guess maybe plastic cheaper to make. I really don't know. It depends on and whatever, and your profit margins or whatever.
It depends on what? That whole sentence cut out.
Oh,
are you?
No, I was debating on like instead of giving people DVD, give them SD cards instead.
Yeah.
And depending on I don't know whoever is trying to make the sale, what their profit margins would be comparatively to like an SD card or like pure plastic and what's easier to make.
Yeah.
Maybe DVDs are kind of easier to make because. However, magically they put the information on, I guess magnetically, of course, like a record,
Yeah, some kind of magnet magic.
Magic. Magnets, how the fuck do they work? They're miracles, bro.
Darman, tell me this: Are you recording with Audacity?
Oh no,
you didn't do it, did you? You fucker, do you? Why must you do this to me, man?
I know.
Why must you do this shit to me, man?
I forgot, dude. No, you should have reminded me, man. It's your fault.
It's my fault.
I have it. It's your fault, man. You're the producer, man.
Well, I mean,
this is your shit.
What the hell,
Someone's got to take responsibility, bro, and you're the editor. So guess what?
Oh my god.
No,
I guess it's late now. We're already an hour deep, but
yeah, it's both of our faults, man. Because we haven't done it in a while, and I just had rolled, bro. I just rolled out of bed, and I'm like, coughing my head off, like, what's the hell happened? I'm glad I did, because at first I didn't. I just felt tired and I didn't want to do it, but I'm glad because now that I got rolling, it's fun. But
yeah,
sorry, man. Yeah, I just didn't think about it.
What happened to my OBS recording crashed, and you know what I'm saying? Then we're fucked. And it's just me talking to myself.
Well, you're Audacity, it doesn't,
Because if you record your audio, and my shit fucks up, then I still got my camera audio, which is really good. I got the new OBS, what the fuck is it called? DJI Osmo Pocket 3. So then I have both the audios, I can smash them together and stuff, something to work with. But now if OBS crashed 30 minutes ago, guess what? Fucked.
Did it? Oh, but I mean, are you going to still be able to use this file or no?
Well, I mean, yeah, if the file's not corrupt. Sometimes OBS takes a shit on me. Sometimes OBS takes a shit on me. File's corrupt. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Weird.
Yeah.
It's the CIA, man.
I know.
You. They don't like your content, bro.
I know it, man. They're coming after me.
It frees minds, baby. You know what I'm saying?
It frees minds.
They can't have free minds running around, man.
Well, we're about an hour deep. Do you want to keep rolling, or what do you think? You got anything else?
Well, I mean, if you wanted some B-roll, we can B-roll. You know.
What do you mean B-roll? This is a podcast. Ain't no B-roll.
Well, you chop stuff up a little bit. You know.
I do clip. You want to do some? You want to do some clips? You want a clip farm?
Where I got cut out, you probably got to cut that shit out and just try to.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do.
I mean, it's up. I mean, I didn't know.
So. I'll see what I can do. Yeah, I don't know if you wanted to. Some people will do that. Well, they'll be like in the middle of the show. They'll just start riffing, so they have stuff to clip. That's how people disseminate shit. Is the clips. The clips.
Bro, the big docs, the shorts.
The clips, the shorts, dog.
That's where your money is made. The shorts.
The clips.
The shorts. Isn't it amazing? I just realized this, bro.
What?
Not only this is a pretty good criticism of Trump. The meme coins, the crypto meme coins.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you got me there. You got me. That's pretty cringe.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a crypto guy, but yeah, when you pop a meme coin and you just pump and dump, it's a pump and dump.
Yeah. Doing pump and dump shit coins, AI shit posts. I don't like it, man. I don't like it.
Yeah, dude. But it's almost like you have to be guarded now because it's a Wild West. It's a new frontier in this digital age.
Yeah.
You thought the creation of the internet was a thing. Get ready for what's coming next.
I know you had faith in Hawk going to the moon. Oh, you don't know about Hawk?
I did. Yeah, no, I know Hawk Tua. Yeah, when you said Hawk, I had to.
That's the name of the coin.
Exactly. No,
you thought I was going to the moon, huh?
Yeah, I did. I actually, I put everything in there, man. No, not at all, sir. I've learned my being in this market for as long as I have. I've made money. I've lost money. I've learned a lot of coins coming. A lot of coins that had promise, had good teams that just fucking dumped and got rug pulled, and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So. So other meme coins that make no sense, yeah, those are all pump and dumps, man.
Yeah,
it's like the .com era, but like on steroids. Like, I mean, they had dogs.com. They had anything like when the height of the .com era, everything was a website.
Yeah,
you name it, teacups.com. Shit like that,
Yeah.
Amazon, it's crazy to think that Amazon, of course, they just focused on books at the time, but it made sense, just books, you know. So anyway, but yeah, bro, that was a nice recap of the cultural phenomenon as we know as the modern day.
Yeah.
I mean, we've wrapped everything up, and I don't want to welcome on politics or anything like that, so.
All right, then.
We hit the video games, and it's pretty good. And I actually about your new show. I thought that was it, bro. I know that I'm kidding. You know me. I'm gonna tell you. I think that was a stroke of genius, bro. I like the format. I like the editing. Even though I'm not a Reddit guy, I'm still entertained by it because it's entertaining.
Yeah,
that's good. That means your demographic, or they're not the demographic, but your target demographic has grown because I don't listen to or I don't read Reddit posts, but I can watch a show like that and just derive so much it's fucking hilarious. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
You know how it's like it's kind of like I like it that kind of structure to a show, kind of like maybe South Park or The Simpsons. Where if you make episodes just based on current events and it's just current and you're just doing it, like you'll never run out of content. It'll never. Yeah. It's just an unending waterfall of content rather than picking a subject and always trying to extract from the subject. Like that's rough. But yeah, bro. Congratulations on your new show. It's awesome. I think it has a potential to catch fire.
All right. Well. I guess we'll round it off there, fellas.
Yes, sir. It's been a pleasure.
All right.
For the Rum Dum Podcast over now. We'll have to still at least once a month. We got to do something.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't mind trying to do the DGI walk around thing, go outside, do shit. We could even make a thing where we go somewhere.
Yeah.
We could set it up like at a
I think we could definitely do videos for the channel, but I don't think we should film the podcast that way. You know what I'm saying? We could do like the little vlogs we did. Yeah. The little vlog we did last time. That's what I titled it. But yeah, the podcast should be like sitting at microphones. It'd be
funny if we did that. If we let's say the crazy story. we go to some bar.
Yeah.
And we had just set up. Maybe it's a slower night or something like that on a weekend or something. And we get a little corner in the bar, like maybe not the bar, but maybe a table somewhere around the bar. And we set up our camera and we just start doing a podcast. Yeah. And then random ass people, drunk ass people start showing up. You know how funny that could be?
Bro, Dar just thinks he invented IRL streaming.
But I'm just saying. But I mean, but turn it into
people
a podcast
do that
format,
shit, dude. People do that, but they stream. They stream just out and about.
We could do that. I mean, maybe we're not. I don't think we're big enough to capture a stream yet. And when it comes to streaming, you want to stream all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To capture that audience. But we could just do it in a live format podcast, Yeah. I say live format, where we're live, but yet we will edit it and post it later, Kind of like what everybody does, So but I think that'd be funny. I mean, we can do more groundwork with your DJI setup and your microphones.
Yeah.
We can be creative. I mean, think of whatever. We could do this, we can go here, we can go there, maybe there's something going on we can go do, watch. Maybe something that you want to go do. A wrestling thing you can do. Whatever. Fuck it.
Yeah.
It'd be neat. It'd be kind of fun.
Do a backyard wrestling match. We throw each other's in the tables.
Oh, God. Yeah, maybe you could start your own, dude. Maybe you could start your own wrestling fucking federation, bro. Like all this, like the PV federations that are out there that actually hurt it. They think these motherfuckers are so misled that they actually think these guys are doing it for real, and then they do it for real and they hurt themselves. Backyard wrestling's like real fucking that's the real wrestling.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the backyard wrestling?
I mean, I've seen. Given my social media algorithm, yes, I've seen a lot of backyard matches that people put on.
I mean, I guess when I was coming out of high school and shit, that was always going on. But there was like on VHS tapes and DVDs, like that shit was going on forever.
Yeah, I've seen some underground matches, dude. I've seen some rough shit.
And these guys, they're doing it for real, man.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, dude. Like you don't know what you're not a proper stunt man.
I like watching clips of like people who are now like the top of the top. They're in WWE watching their old amateur pro wrestling matches where they're like dumping brass tacks on the mat and throwing people into that shit, breaking fluorescent tubes over their heads, like doing that kind of underground type shit. And to see how far they've come. Especially you see these like camcorder footage. It's like the back room of a convention center. There's like 30 people in the audience and they're like straight up throwing each other into barbed wire and shit for like 50 people. That's how they start off, dude. They're breaking glass off in each other's faces for double digit audiences. Yeah.
Dude. Double digit audiences. And it's like the real shit. Like, it's almost backwards in a way. Like the fake shit is more popular, but the real shit is like, oh my God.
I mean, in both stages, it's all a worked performance.
Right.
But since you don't have as big of a draw, you see a lot more of the death match type subgenre where they're doing wild shit like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude.
It's nuts, man. Well, shit, bro. Yeah, I'm drawing straws. Right. I got no topics off the top of my head. We're pretty good.
Sign it off there. Till next time, Rum Dummers. Bye.